The hunters launched their small boat into the water here near the end of Lake Road in Lacombe Saturday morning. And one of the hunters told me despite the freezing temperatures, the hunt started out fairly routine. The wind picked up, and that's when things took a turn for the worse. St. Tammany Marine deputies pulled off a daring rescue Saturday, braving wind, ice, and bitter cold to save 3 stranded hunters. Eric LeBrun from Mandeville and 2 friends headed into the Big Branch Marsh near Lacombe for an early morning duck hunt. But conditions quickly worsened when their boat's anchor slipped and the vessel drifted into Lake Pontchartrain. The 3 men were stranded on a remote beach in the Goose Point area, accessible only by boat.
My boats, I'd watch it drift out. By then, it was about maybe a mile out, and then probably drifted another mile.
LeBrun called 911. Deputy Joey Swinlin responded.
Probably the worst conditions that we could have had. I think the feel-like temperature was 11 degrees. Winds gust up to 20, 25 miles an hour sustained.
It took Swinlin nearly 40 minutes to navigate the rough water and reach the hunters.
I seen them on the shoreline there, and there was 3 of them, and one had waded out into the water to me in about knee-deep water, and I could tell he was extremely cold, didn't have any gloves on.
Swinlin quickly got all 3 men into his boat and brought them to safety. But the rescue wasn't over. Sergeant Jared Meyer joined Swinlin, and they headed back out to recover the drifting boat. LeBrun says the deputies went above and beyond.
It was very impressive to see, how they didn't even bat an eye. It's, it was rough. It was scary out there.
LeBrun says by the time the deputies returned to shore, they were covered in ice. Sergeant Meyer says the hunters were in serious danger.
They would have been all right for a little while, but had they gotten wet or fallen in or something like that, they wouldn't have had very long in those conditions. That wind and that cold, you don't last very long.
All 3 hunters made it home safely, cold and shaken, but unharmed. For the deputies, it's what they do. So was it worth it?
I'd like to say it wasn't worth it, but, we got 1 duck, and that's a lot as far as public land hunting Big Branch this season.
LeBrun says, given his ordeal, maybe they'll think twice about going duck hunting when there are gale warnings and freezing temperatures on the water. In Lacombe, Paul Murphy, WWL, Louisiana.